In the headlines, a double-digit percentage increase in cruise ships coming to Barbados. The Prime Minister stresses the need for Barbados to be prepared for climate hazards. A new tool developed for Barbados and the Caribbean to closely monitor trends in food security. And in sports, Barbados Pride against Leeward Hurricanes.
Broadcasting from our studios in the Pine St. Michael, this is CBC NewsNight, starting now.
Good evening and welcome. I'm Lucia Hines with the details to the news. We begin with this good news related to the Barbados tourism sector. The island's cruise industry is in for another major boost. Minister of Tourism and International Transport Ian Gooding-Edgell reports that Barbados anticipates an increase in cruise arrivals during the 2025 to 2026 season. He made the announcement at the Sea Trade Cruise Global 2025 at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Anesta Henry has that story.
Minister Gooding-Edgell says Barbados expects to record a 22% increase in cruise arrivals during the 2025 to 2026 cruise season. He says this means that more cruise ship passengers will be sailing into the Bridgetown port this upcoming season compared to last season.
This year we've had 388 calls for this winter season, and next year we're projecting 467 calls. That therefore means that there will be more tourists because we anticipate we'll have more than 850,000 cruise ship passengers coming into Barbados. That means additional spend on island. It also means additional economic activity in Barbados, from the taxi operators to attractions to the local cuisine to handicraft, you name it, to restaurants for those who are home porting in Barbados.
Minister Edgell adds that the country's airlift strategy continues to play a significant role in the development of cruise.
Barbados is a home port, has a home port facility. It also is one of the perhaps bigger home porting operations that we have within the Southern Caribbean region. The strategy of airlift dovetails very nicely with cruise, in the sense that the amount of passengers, cruise passengers that we have coming into Barbados, taking services, be it from out of the United States or the UK, contributes to cruise and stay, which is a wonderful opportunity for those who want to take a cruise to spend a couple of days in Barbados before they go on the cruise, and when they return from the cruise, that they can also spend a couple of days before heading back home. That's worked well for us. The fact that we've had in excess of 60,000 air seat capacity coming into Barbados will also continue to support the development of cruise in Barbados.
And while an increasing number of cruise passengers sail into the Bridgetown port, Barbados continues to enhance its port infrastructure with expanded berthing capacity and upgraded terminal facilities.
We have the berth 6, which is due to be completed later this year. We're hoping to have that done by September. It's an opportunity to also free up additional space that would have otherwise, especially during the peak winter season, be allocated for cargo. So cargo, the proposal is to have a separate berth for cargo, at the same time freeing up the space within the deep water harbor to accommodate additional ships coming into the port. The port has also made a US $1 million investment in Shed 3 operations to ensure that we improve the facilities for all of our cruise visitors who embark and disembark through using that shed facility. We've also made significant improvements in terms of the pavement to ensure that those cruise passengers, when they're leaving the cruise ships and they're heading out to on their tours and so on, that they have the pavement that is satisfactory without obstruction.
As the premier business-to-business event for the global cruise industry, Sea Trade Cruise Global offers a unique platform for Barbados to reaffirm its position as a leading cruising destination in the Southern Caribbean and to present its forward-thinking vision for cruise tourism.
It is important that we visit Sea Trade annually. It's an opportunity for us to interact with all of our cruise partners here in Miami. And the reason for that is that we set out obviously to ensure that we are planning for the future, but also to get an assessment and early read of what is happening within the cruise sector. It is also critically important for us to not only understand what is on the books for Barbados, but also to seek out new and future growth opportunities for cruise tourism in Barbados.
Sea Trade Cruise Global 2025 was held between April 7 and 10. Onesta Henry, CBC News.
Prime Minister Mia Motley is adamant that in a world increasingly defined by climate uncertainty, Barbados' ability to recover must be matched by its willingness to prepare. She says that's why the country has committed to bold, innovative solutions like its Resilience and Regeneration Fund to close the widening gap left by underinsurance, rising premiums, and intensifying climate disasters. Addressing the 5th meeting of the board of the Fund for Responding to Loss and Damage, Prime Minister Motley noted that while there's a need for global response, Barbados recognizes that waiting on the world to act is not an option.
We announced in the last budget a month ago that Barbados will contribute 0.25% of its GDP every year to the Resilience and Regeneration Fund as a means to be able to help us bridge that difficult gap that will come with loss, but equally to build resilience to minimize the scale of loss that our people and our companies and sectors are likely to experience. But that is not unique, because we've built that on top of the very real benefit of the natural disaster clauses.
Prime Minister Motley adds that by embedding natural disaster clauses in its debt for nature swaps, Barbados has demonstrated its commitment to building a future where no hurricane, drought or flood can derail its progress.
With respect to the debt swaps, as I was just showing, they also create the opportunity for you to build resilience without increasing debt in a world where majority of SIDS and LDCs, regrettably, after years of a polycrisis, are in a, I shouldn't only say SIDS and LDCs, because most of the developed world and most of the G7 countries are in fact facing the same dilemma with respect to their public finances.
Chief Executive Officer of the Barbados Agricultural Society, BAS, Mr. James Paul, wants the red tape that makes it difficult for small island developing states to access international relief funds removed. He is concerned that SIDS face too many challenges when trying to access the funds, which are supposed to be there to provide immediate assistance and long-term support. He was speaking at the 5th board meeting of the Loss and Damage Fund at the Hilton Barbados Resort.
You have these other things tagged on to the funds. For instance, you have to go and include young people. You have to include women. Then you have to look at people with alternative lifestyles to actually include under them too. And sometimes it makes it extremely difficult for actors like us who basically are interested in business to access those funds. And this is an extreme problem that we find.
Mr. Paul further says the managers of the funds must remember that they were established to respond during emergency cases.
And I think that the developed world especially need to stop imposing their guidelines or whatever on countries such as ours, when in truth and in fact they're not directly addressing the needs. So I would want to appeal to the board of directors of the fund especially, that they address this issue.
Decision makers from Barbados and the region, along with researchers, will be able to closely monitor trends in food security in real time through the just launched Caribbean Real-Time Food Security Monitoring Dashboard. Through this platform, CARICOM says they will also gain a better understanding of the drivers of food security in the region and identify areas with the greatest trends and needs. Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett sees it as a significant game changer given the strides made by countries of the bloc in reducing their food import bills.
The launch of this dashboard demonstrates ongoing commitment to action on regional food and nutrition security. Real-time data on key food security indicators will equip member states with tools they need to make informed decisions and implement effective policies. Member states will also be able to monitor trends and vulnerabilities and respond swiftly to emerging threats. Furthermore, the availability of analytical reports every 3 months will provide a comprehensive understanding of the food security landscape. These reports will be accessible to all users of the data, fostering transparency and enabling the tracking of progress towards collective goals.
Dr. Barnett revealed most member states of CARICOM are already contributing to the Caribbean Real-Time Food Security Monitoring Dashboard.
Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Guyana, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, and Trinidad and Tobago. Your collaboration and commitment are crucial to the success of this initiative. I extend appreciation to the World Food Programme for the invaluable partnership and support to this initiative. Their expertise and resources have been instrumental in bringing this dashboard to fruition, and we look forward to continuing our collaboration to achieve the shared goal of ensuring that no one in the region goes hungry.
Well, coming up, all of the island's folk tales and stories could be compiled into one book. A local historian is confident that at the end of the Standpipe series, a book will be penned, compiling all of the island's folk tales and stories. That's according to head of the Department of History and Philosophy at the University of the West Indies, Dr. Henderson Carter. He says each parish has a unique story to tell as the island continues the We Gather in 2025 journey. The community gathered to share and listen to stories of old at the St. Joseph Primary School earlier this week for the 4th lecture in the Standpipe series. The lecture was led by history and literature teacher at the Coleridge and Parry School, Akery Adams.
I'm sure you have stories about Crab Hole and stories about Horse Hill and Blackmans and all those wonderful stories. We want to hear from you, because at the end of the day, what we are trying to do at Cave Hill is to put together a book. Yes, put together a book. So his lecture will be in a book. This will be the chapter for St. Joseph. We've already had 3 of them. And we want to hear your stories as well. And at the end of the day, we want to publish this book after we gather in, so that everybody can, recap those village stories, those parish stories.
We switch gears now to bring you this update. Murder-accused Ricardo Boyce will spend the next 28 days on remand at Dodds Prison. Boyce, 35, of Tamarin Lane, Eagle Hall, St. Michael, was not required to plead to the indictable offence when he appeared before Magistrate Wayne Clark in the Holetown Magistrates Court this afternoon. Amani Lord, 20, of Mason Hall Street, the city, was killed at the corner of 1st Street and Holetown Main Road, St. James, on April 4th. The killing was recorded and circulated on social media over the weekend. Boyce was represented by attorney-at-law Angela Mitchell-Gittins. He will return to court on May 8th. Festival marketing is one of the newest and trending drivers of tourism in the Caribbean, and the St. Lucia Tourism Authority is capitalizing on that drive at this year's St. Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival. Marketing manager of the authority, Christopher Gustave, says the event is an economic driver for tourism. He was speaking at the Courtyard by Marriott during one of the festival's regional road shows, which is being hosted to promote the festival throughout the region. The St. Lucian team is also promoting Lucian Carnival, which is scheduled for July 1st to 23rd.
It's beyond just the performances, it's about all the influx of tourists who come to the island, creating a lot of economic activity. So you're talking about all the restaurants being filled up, you're talking about the taxi drivers having work, the hotels, the Airbnbs. So the impact of the festival is amazing, and it contributes significantly to the economy.
The Jazz and Arts Festival is set to be held from April 30th to May 11th. The lineup includes international acts like John Legend and Earth, Wind and Fire, as well as regional artists such as Sizzla, Beanie Man and Patrice Roberts, along with a stellar cast of St. Lucian artists. Mr. Gustave says that they're also partnering with regional airlines to make it affordable and attractive for Caribbean people to travel to St. Lucia for the festival.
We're working hard with all the airlines to ensure that we have enough capacity so that people, if you want to come to St. Lucia, you can come to St. Lucia. But still, I want to advise everyone, talk to your travel agent, visit the airline websites and book now. Don't wait too late, don't wait last minute, now is the time.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Time now for sports, and despite the fact that we're matching up on colors, he's not singing the blues for the Pride. Damien?
Good evening to you, Tisha. Good evening to our viewers and listeners. Defending champions Burger King Clapham Bulls warmed up for the playoffs of the Cooperators General Insurance BABA Basketball Premier League with a 25-point victory over Fusion Boutique Station Hill Cavaliers at the BCC Gym. Bulls and Cavs will face each other again in the semi-final series after finishing second and third respectively in the regular season. CBC's Anne Margaret Boyce reports.
Postseason action with Bulls in orange battling against Cavs. A few seconds on the clock. Don't worry, the big man Akeem Marsh is in the building. One-hand floater to get proceedings going. Cavs were fully prepared for the contest. Stefan Otley clearing way for Adriel Braffett off the backboard and in. Rashid Maynard was not at his brilliant best on offense, only contributing 9 points. But this was the best of the lot. Marvelous from three-point line. Braffett was busy for the Cavs, scoring 14 points in the match. Here he is with the fadeaway J, looking good. Bulls, however, were online and fully active. Simeon Maynard enters the chat. What an introduction. Saw that one coming from way downtown. Cavs had their weapons as well. Gavin Phillips and Devron Knight combined. Easy two. Bulls were taking turns with the points. This time, Rashim Gibbons trying his luck from behind the line. You bet it's on the money. Gibbons was in the mood and opted for the left corner this time. No reward, but Simeon took matters into his own hands to the cup and won. Three-point play as Bulls took the first two quarters, 33-18 and 55-33. Bulls maintained their lead in the third, so let's head to the fourth. Cavs fighting with Knight in the paint, delivering to Moore at a whopping 33 points. Cavs trailing by 17 now, cut that deficit to 15. Otley on the runway, and the floater is flawless. The crowd loved it. But Bulls were marching on and extended the lead. Maynard again cashes in. In the gym was cool, and you can bet why. Anton Winter was there with the jumper. Bulls on the verge of victory. Bulls then wrapped it up. The next play, guess who? Maynard with the magic as Bulls took the dub, 100-75 over Cavs. Anwar Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Meantime, City United Celtics finished the regular season last night in first place and will take on fourth place Island Care Ambulance Service and Body by B Lakers in the semi-final series, which begins on Sunday.
The Business Report, brought to you with the compliments of Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
A tactical retreat. That's how Managing Director of the Goddard's Group and Chairman of Goddard's Shipping Division, Anthony Ali, summed up yesterday's action by U.S. President Donald Trump. He tells the Business Report that even with the stay of the implementation by the Trump administration, there is now a wait-and-see game. Trevor Thorpe reports.
Mr. Ali says seeking alternative sources and looking for substitute products are laudable, but bringing such initiatives to fruition will not be easy in the Caribbean, as there are numerous hurdles to overcome. Part of the challenge, he says, is that the region does not have a common currency.
It's not that easy to move product around. Over and above that, CARICOM itself makes it difficult by putting up artificial barriers, non-sanitary barriers, phytosanitary barriers. There are still trade issues where certain products are not allowed to come in. You hear these stories about product being imported locally within the Caribbean. They come to the port and they're barred from coming in and the product gets destroyed. That happened here with pineapples. It happened here with milk. It happens all over the Caribbean. And so we become, in some cases, the barrier to our own success.
The leading business official says if the tariffs are eventually implemented, that, coupled with the levy on Chinese vessels, will push prices upwards.
And that impact will be felt in two ways. One, it'll be the impact of the tariff itself. And then secondly, there should be an impact of inflation in the U.S. As inflation goes up in the U.S., the products that we're buying will have inflation over and above the tariffs, and we are going to import that inflation. So you're going to get that impact twice.
He adds that the impact of the measures will be felt twice in Barbados and admits that manufacturers and distributors will not absorb the increase in prices.
So the net result should be price increases being felt on the supermarket, on the store shelf, probably within 60 plus days, if the tariffs go through.
Mr. Ali says, for now though, everyone is still in a holding position. Trevor Thorpe for the Business Report.
Okay, thank you, Trevor. The Massy Store at Sky Mall has been temporarily closed. In a message to the public affixed to the entrance of the supermarket, it says the action comes in response to a recent assessment by the company's management team under the guidance of their service provider and the health, safety and environment team. The message says the store would be temporarily closed to facilitate environmental upkeep and pest control in the store. In apologizing to the public for the inconvenience caused, the message says the company is committed to maintaining the highest operational standards across their locations. It also pointed out that it was a proactive step being taken to ensure they continue to provide a safe and comfortable shopping environment for customers and staff. The message says their team members have been fully briefed and are working diligently to support the process so that the store can reopen and resume regular service to the public.
Sports Night, brought to you with the compliments of Great Health Works, agents for Omega XL.
Damien Best is back for the second half of sports.
Thanks so much, Tisha. Well, Barbadian athletes have officially started their training at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex ahead of the 52nd edition of the Carifta Games. Well, last week, the Athletics Association of Barbados announced a 52-member squad, the largest ever to leave the island to compete at the Caribbean's most prestigious junior track and field meet. CBC's Anna Margaret Boyce reports.
The best junior track and field athletes have been busy here at the Usain Bolt Sports Complex, going through their paces ahead of the Carifta Games, with hopes of bringing glory to this nation over the Easter weekend. With just days left until the athletes compete against the best of the Caribbean at the Hazley Crawford Stadium in Trinidad and Tobago, the mood in the camp is good as the local competitors fine-tune their techniques. Head coach Brian Holder told CBC Sports the team made up of past Carifta champions and developmental athletes is ready for the task at hand.
We are about performances. We are about giving of our best, leaving it all on the track. All the territories going to Carifta Games are hunting medals. We are also in the hunt. All we can do is to prepare ourselves as best as we can here, and when we go there, go fight and hope for the best. But we are definitely, I can tell you this, Amar, I've been with a lot of teams over the years, and this team has that fight in it that I think is important for, I will say, good performances.
13-year-old Taylor Ray Wiggins is the youngest member of the team, and she's over the moon that she will be competing in the under-17 girls 4x100-meter relay event.
I'm very excited because I'm still quite young to be going Carifta, and it's a great opportunity for me. Training has been going all right. We've been working on speed and form, and I hope that my team can place inside the 4x1 relay.
Meantime, 2022 gold medalist Finn Armstrong is hoping for another podium finish after missing last year.
This is my last track Carifta, and I'm really looking forward to just putting my best foot forward, hopefully bringing back a medal. Hopefully gold, you always know you aim for the top, and maybe if you don't make it, you at least fall somewhere close, you know what I mean?
The Barbados team is slated to leave the island in 2 groups next Wednesday and Thursday. And Mark Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Yeah, thanks, Anmar. Well, 5 Barbadian competitors have so far hit the qualifying standards for the 2025 Carifta Gymnastics Games, slated for November in Jamaica. The local athletes, all representing Flip Gym Barbados, met the requirements at the Trident Classic recently held at the Willie Gymnasium. Again, Anmar has more.
A chance to book a spot on the Barbados Carifta Gymnastics team was up for grabs, and this young lady was the first competitor to answer the call. Down the runway in the vault, that's Daniela Small in the level 7 category vault, building momentum, and the crowd was fully impressed. Her score was 35.325. Over to the balance beam, performing her routines, which incorporated both acrobatic and dance elements with precision and artistry, was Tiamite Kaswazwa in level 6. Couple of flips and hand sprints, 36.750 was her score. Staying with level 6, up next was Georgia Bailey. Look at the focus and concentration, taking her time with every move and a few turns and jumps to reach 36.575. Final competitor on our highlights is Oyinda Bolero on the uneven bars. The execution was near flawless. Very well done, scoring 35.900 in the level 7 event. And more Goodrich Boyce, CBC Sports.
Well, despite not registering a podium finish at the recently concluded Pan American Cycling Championships in Paraguay, top Barbadian female cyclist Amber Joseph is pleased with her overall showing. Speaking to CBC Sports, she confirmed coming away with some personal best performances.
It was my first Pan Ams competing in the sprint kilo and Kieran, and I hit PB in the kilo by a 2-second PB, and then for my flying 200, which is the qualification time trial that we do for the sprint competition, I did 11.8 for the 200 meters. So yeah, it was a good competition overall, and I'm pleased with my performance, and I placed 9th in the Kieran in the 7 to 8 final. So yeah, I'm happy overall with my performance, and only goes up from here.
Finally, the vision of former Barbados Volleyball Association President Jai Jabal Singh is being realized as his family has presented scholarship grants to 2 volleyballers pursuing studies at the University of the West Indies, Cave Hill. Jabal Singh's widow, Annette, and daughter, Dr. Kim Jabal Singh, presented the first check to Naria Miller, who plays for KFC Deacons and who is a first-year student in economics and management. The other went to Jaden Batson, who captains WOW Foundation and is pursuing business management. Both Miller and Batson thanked the Jabal Singh family as well as the BVA, as they indicated that the scholarship grants will greatly assist in reducing some of the financial challenges of their academic and sporting journey.
And that's news. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. On behalf of the entire team, do enjoy the rest of your evening.